Kia ora koutou. Welcome to this wānanga today. What we're going to be talking about here is building on last month's session where we showed you how to grab some data, download it, get QGIS, download that, install it, and copy paste it to a folder. We'll see how we go. Maybe I'll just very quickly recap for those of you who weren't able to make it last time. But the focus of today is going to be primarily creating new data, your own data, on your own computer, so no one else has access to it, just you. And then we might have a look at some other options as well, including finding data and adding it to your own map from somewhere. And we might grab a picture from RetroLens, and we might see if we can geo-rectify that as well to overlay it on the Whenua, like it could be in a historical survey plan or anything like that. So hopefully you can see this story map on screen, and this is just a little, it's kind of become a thing. It was started as an ad hoc place to put some links that you can access, but the main thing here is we'll do this together, and you can have a tutu as we go, or you can just sit back, relax and watch. But we can go matawhenua.com, and that's just a domain I bought. It's not a proper website, nothing. It just redirects you to this, which is a collection of story maps. And you can have a play on the weekend through all of these. There's some really useful links and things to all kinds of data sets, but this is the one we're going to look at today. So I'm going to click on this one. So matawhenua.com, click on here, and we've just tongue-in-cheek called this Matawhenua GIS mapping, because our series, of course, is Ngā Poutama Matawhenua, and it's all about providing knowledge, sharing access, building capability, and how to use geospatial data for your own means in your own way as well. So matawhenua.com, scroll down a bit, and this is where you can get that original data set, like a 1 or 3 gig data set, so it's quite large. And you can download the project file that goes with it. So QGIS, for those of you new to QGIS, is a desktop application. So it sits on your computer and you use it to look at maps and create your own maps like this. And so what we're doing is we're adding layers, just like a pizza, back to the old pizza thing. We have a base map and you have layers on top, and you can choose those flavors and how you want that to display. So once you get to this Matawhenua site, download Matawhenua GIS. There's a link there too. What's included? It'll jump you down.
Wait, can you make it a bit bigger? It's not text.
A bit small?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that better now, or is it still the same?
Yeah. That's better. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
That's looking good. Okay, so back up again just for a moment. Back to matawhenua.com. Matawhenua.com. That's just a shortcut. Gets you to this collection of resources, which we kind of built on since about February. And the one we're looking at is Matawhenua hapū GIS full package, download, and it brings you into the story. And we want to click on here, download Matawhenua GIS. Don't click that button because that tells you what's in there, but you can if you want to. You can have a look. There is a project data 1.7 gigs file. This is what we did last month, where you download it and extract it and open it and use the tool set. Today we're going to be looking at how to build on that and add additional data of your own, plus other data as well. Below, there's missing a below. There's the advanced GIS data as well. That's a 6 gigabyte data set there. So download the first one, get that working, then come back to the page and do that one. I'm going to download this one, which is new. So those of you who were with us last month, this could be of interest to you. Those of you just joining us, just stick with the first file just up here for now. And if you can follow those instructions as carefully as possible, that will help you be set up for success. So I'm going to go here to my downloads. I'm going to get that file. I'm going to go cut, and then I'm going to go to my C drive. So to get this pop up, I just click to downloads. And I'm looking here for the GIS folder that we created last month. And now I'm going to paste it here and replace that file. So there is this new project file that we've just created, just downloaded. And if you do the same thing, it'll work the same on your computer. Now, no one else can see these files. Well, you can, but no one else can access them. And you can see this folder _GIS is on local disk C. And in there is the advanced data set. And here is those two files that we first downloaded last month, which are the main project and then the advanced project. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's have a recap. Jeff, can you just check that you can see this map?
Do you want to put the link to the where the data is in the chat, Dwayne, or
would you mind doing that for me? Because I just can't access the chat at the moment. But at matawhenua.com, go there and pick story number 1.
Okay.
And then be good to go. So when you open it, this is what it looks like on the and QGIS. So QGIS is free open source software. You download the software, and maybe if I just I'll just go back a step because we had that project open. Okay, I think I've closed that project now. So what I'm going to do is open that file from the C drive. So I'm going to go, this is QGIS. This is the desktop software. There's nothing in there. But what it needs is a project file. So let's go into our C drive, C:/_GIS, and that takes us to that location that we created last month. And I'm going to go open advanced project. And down the bottom here, you can see it's going through and it's finding all the data sets from those other couple of databases that we downloaded. So keep in mind, if this is new, please go and have a look at last month's recording, which is now on the Ngā Poutonga Mata Whenua YouTube channel. Okay, let's organize ourselves here a bit. So this is looking pretty complex at the moment. There's a lot of data on here. So we might have to turn some stuff off. And looks like we're in Hokianga, somewhere up there. Somewhere near maybe. Let's zoom out a fraction. So what you're seeing is lots of layers of data coming off just the laptop, with one exception being the base map. Because the base map is a gargantuan file, it's, I don't know, 50 or 100 gigs or something. We don't want to download it. We just use it from the source. In this case, I'm using one from Toitū Te Whenua, but you can use it from other places as well. Let's turn some stuff off so it goes a bit faster. So on the left here, these are all the layers that we have. So if we turn off primary road parcels, turn them off, click here, hydro parcels, building outlines, property boundaries, we'll leave Māori land blocks, we'll turn off protected areas, we'll turn off Kiwi2. You can see as I'm doing this, some things are turning off there. I'm going to leave the tangata whenua place names, the TPK marae. We've got some PowerPoints there that we sourced from Toitū Te Whenua, as well as historic sites, just for reference. We'll take off the niwa, turn that one off, and you can see they're grouped. So you can turn off a whole group of data if you prefer to, like this. You can see this here. Turn off a whole bunch at one time, but I might just, no, we'll leave it off for now. And you can see here some survey plans. These are great for when you want to identify historical survey plans from the 1880s onwards. Then you can go to the LINZ property system online, and you can request the survey plans if you don't already have them. A few of us are hoping to make them more accessible, but there's some constraints we're having to work through at the moment. I'm going to leave doc on there. Let's have a look here. So what we should have is a LINZ base map and a hill shape. So if I turn that off, you can see there we've got a hill shape, which is quite cool because it gives us the features without any of the land cover. And if I turn this on, it gives us an overlay of the aerial photography, but also enhances the topography, which is the hillshade you can see underneath here. Let's zoom in a bit. And so what have we got here now? We've got some red asterisks, which are, let's have a look, try and spot what they are. Looks like LINZ historical PAR points, so they're a bit dominant. I'm just going to track them down and turn them off. Oh, PAR points. So these are historic PAR as identified from aerial photos in the LINZ topographic maps. Let's zoom in and see what we can see here. And here we have Māori land blocks. And as we zoom in, these are the Māori land blocks, Māori land court associated with that. We should get some labels turning on. So what it's doing, you can see here, it's using the internet to download the base map only. Everything else is on the screen. If I was to turn that off, it would actually go a bit faster because it's not using my internet then. So now the labels come up because it's not having to download stuff. I'm zooming in, zooming out, zooming around. So this is all the Māori land blocks. They are in that data set that we downloaded. Let's have another quick squiz at what's in that data set. I go here to see GIS, Mata Whenua data August 25. All of these layers are there ready for you to use on your computer. After you've downloaded them, no internet needed. Okay, so I'm going to turn that, just go up here a bit. I'm going to turn that base map on again and just show you a couple of others here. So there's the hill shade. It's coming straight from the server, and base map over the top. There's also some other layers here which are available, and there's many, many more. Here's topo gridless maps, so you might be familiar with these with going hunting. And if I turn off aerial imagery and we zoom in a bit, so these will start to look a bit familiar. Zoom out a bit. So sometimes there's a bit of delay as it's downloading just the image for that page. But this is quite useful. We might we need to find a spot that's not too much stuff there, because we're going to just create some fake data today. We're not going to try to assume anyone's rohi or area. Let's see. What I'm going to do is come down here to Whenua and just navigate in. So you can see that the stars and the land blocks draw really fast, but the remainder, the layer underneath, the one that we didn't download, that we don't want to download, is just taking a while. So I'm going to turn off that, turn on some aerial base map. Here we go. There's Taupere Maunga down here, Waikatoawa, Lake Waikari, and we're just going to use this area just here. This is where I was a kid, used to stomp around here. Okay, we'll give that a second, see if that'll download. So we've got all of these layers here, and all of these layers come from somewhere else. Let's organize them a bit more as well. Let's take all of these ones, turn them on just so we can group them. Let's see. looking for group, maybe it's up in here. All right. Waiting for my pop-ups to come. Group, there we go, add group. So now I can take these ones, I can turn them off so it all goes a bit faster. Property boundaries, that's every property boundary. See those black lines there when you zoom right down? It's every property boundary, the whole motu. That's in that advanced data package. So what I can do is I can group these up. So there's kind of various things going on here at the moment. I know we're learning how to use QGIS, which I'm still learning because I use a different product mostly, Google Earth and ArcGIS. But you can see here, it's downloading that base map, and I think it's just because we're, this is the issue. I think because we're doing the wānanga, it's also struggling with internet, but this one, won't worry about that. Let's zoom out a fraction. Okay, so all we've done so far is we've recapped most of what we did last month. Here's where the new stuff begins. I'm going to, oh, what is this? Close all, get rid of that. What we're going to do now is we're going to create a new layer just of our data on the computer how you want it. So let's go to, let's just see, what have I still got there? Topo turning on, turn that off. There we go, nice plain old aerials now. Let's get rid of these groups, collapse them together so it's all just a bit more easier to see. So a lot of these actions that we're doing, it doesn't matter what software you use, whether it's Google Earth Pro for desktop, ArcGIS Pro desktop, which is the proprietary one, kind of like Microsoft, or whether you use this one, which is QGIS, which is free open source and no license, no cost. Let's go layer. We're now going to create our first layer, our own data, new geopackage layer. So geopackage layer, geopackage is the name of the database, and we're going to create a database, put our layer within. I'm going to go to C :_GIS here, and we're going to put it here, and let's call this hapū database 1. Can be anything you want, but this is going to be our points, our places, our paths, our lines, and our areas. So the table, we'll just ignore that part. Geometry type, this is a point. So we can go any of these kinds, but the ones we're going to use are point, lines, and polygon. We're just going to start with point. And in this case, I'm going to use what's called latitude, longitude, just plain old WGS84. The reason I use this one is because it works with GPS. It'll work with your mobile phones if you've got a GPS on your phone, which everyone will. It's the same coordinate system as what Google Earth uses. It works with Google Maps, and it'll work with any other GIS as well. There is another one called New Zealand Transverse Mercator, but we're just going to bypass that one in this one. Now we're going to have a name. We need some attributes. So in the background of each point, we're going to have like a row in a spreadsheet. So I'm going to call this one name of, or just name, and add. So I've created a column in a spreadsheet. Now I'm going to go type, add to fields list, and maybe I put notes. Maybe I go source. Hang on, go away. And here's something, all these ones I've just been adding as plain text fields, just like you might in Excel. But this is a different one. I'm going to go sensitivity. And in this case, I'm going to go with what's called a Boolean. And this is true, false. Just so hopefully you can see it there, true, false, Boolean. I'm going to add that one. So what this means is we've just set up the columns in our spreadsheet. Let me go OK. Well, this one looks a bit different to the laptop. Let's see what's going on here. There we go. There's our database we created, and here is the layer that we created. So I'm just going to, oh, it already wasn't there. Okay, but it's randomly put it somewhere I wasn't expecting. Okay, I'm going to remove that here, remove layer. That doesn't delete it, it just removes it from the map. And then that one, I'm going to drag that up the top. Figure out how to do it. Here we go. Have I put it in that group now, did I? I did. Okay, I'm going to create a new group. Hapū data. So that a lot of these activities you could be doing in Excel, but we're going to do it straight into GIS. Okay, Hapū database. Let's have a look at this layer. Let's go and see Open Attribute Table. Now here are those headings that we just added in, but we haven't created any data yet. Let's go and click here to highlight the layer, and then click here, toggle editing. So now we are starting to edit. We're going to be able to create our own data now. This little bar here, this is the one you're looking for, this point feature. And there are other options as well, but this is the one you want here. 3 dots and a little star. Okay, so let's go and start putting some points on our map. The FID stands for feature ID. In this case, we're going to go Whenua, type other, or no, roto, and notes, freshwater lake with high nutrient load from farming, or something like this. Historically, a source of freshwater mussels, or any kind of kōrero, source of kai. Any kind of kōrero you want there. Source, hui, or person, or reference from a book, or other things, and then sensitivity. This case, not sensitive, so I'm not going to tick that one. And now we've done 1 point. Let's pick another spot here. Go, name. I can't remember the name of that one. Okay, we'll just call it anyway. Repo. Type, repo, notes, heavily impacted by farming activities and drainage. Source could be from a hui or some other reference. Sensitive, and this one not particularly sensitive because this is not like a cultural PIP site. So I'm going to just go OK. And so now we've done 2 points, we go save. And then we go open attribute table. And here now you can see we've got roto, repo, source, some notes, and sensitivity false. So that's kind of like behind every point, every feature, every place, there'll be a row in our spreadsheet. So let's just recap. Data is on our computer. we've created that kind of spreadsheet type view. We've created a database called hapū database, and also the layer hapū database, because I forgot to rename it. Hapū database 1. So we can put any number of points in here representing places, mahinga, other things. So let me just show you a web page over here, and just checking that everybody can see this. We're back to the Whenua site. If you press this square button here, matawhenua.com, and then have a look in here. Now, I just made this one with using ChatGPT and said to it, this is the kind of things that I want. I want a theme, I want categories, I want types. You don't need to do any of that. You can, if you want, just go straight into the types, and you can call them anything you want to. The trick is to always use the same type name. I decided we wouldn't go and do how to create drop downs in QGIS because it's just a little bit complex, but it is possible. But I was also having some issues in being able to create them. In Excel, if you're using a spreadsheet, you can create a drop down using a list of types. You can decide what those types might be. And there's some suggestions on that page. They're just, I wouldn't call them perfect, but they're to give you an idea. The main thing is you want to create them depending on what you need. So let's go, we've pressed save editing, so we can unclick that. And now there's our layer. 2 points, a little bit of kōrero on there, very brief. We've got a type, and if we want to, we could change the symbol. And let's have a look at that. Instead of having 2 red dots, let's go and try to do this. We'll click on there. Here we go. That's what we got. In this case, we want to go symbology. And instead of red dots, maybe I want blue dots, or a point like this. If I go apply and move that over here, you'll see now it's changed them. If I want to go, rather than a single symbol, I want to go categorized based on those types that we had, categorized. Then I choose value or type. So this is the field that we created. And let's see, classify. So here we've got repo and roto, and then all others. This is as it is currently. The more types we add in there, the more different colors and symbols we can use as well. So let's go OK. If we real quickly, let's bung another one in there on that one. Waikato. Awa. Or type will be awa. Notes. Source, a hui, or verbal, or kaumatua, kuia. Sensitive. This one, I'm just going to tick this one. It's just to demonstrate. Okay, so now it's colored that one green because other. Let's see if we had a hui and we wanted to show this data on the screen, but we didn't want to show anything that was sensitive. So the first thing we need to do is just save our edits and stop editing. Then we bring up our pop-up. This one, double click, pop it up. Let's see if we can work out where to do a query. No, not this one. Filter. I might come back to this one. This was a bit of an unplanned one. But it's possible to go if sensitive then don't show it. Or we can just tick it off like that as well. That works too. Even simpler. Okay, now let's do a line or path. Let's come to our hapū database. There, we're going to put it in there. Let's go layer, create layer. Our database. I might just go, we'll make a new database, a second one. We'll just call it 2, because this is going to have our lines. Let's go in here, table name geometry. This time is going to be string, line string. And once again, the coordinate system, just plain old latitude, longitude. And then I can also go in here, name, text string, type, kōrero, sensitive, and change that to Boolean because we want that yes or no. Add fields list. What else might we want? Current state. Links to reports or other things. You can keep adding and building, but what I'd recommend is just start small and then grow once you get familiar with using the tools. So we're coming down here, we'll go advanced options, layer, paths and lines. And I might have to just have a underscore between those because I think sometimes it goes, you can't have spaces in your names. And you can see over here, these ones got little underscores. So that tells me, okay, I'm probably about right. Go okay. And here's my paths and lines come up in here. And in my hapū database, hopefully it's there somewhere if I refresh. Oh no, there was a new one. That's right, creating a new database. So hapū database 2, and there is that, and that's looking in the data view up here. This is my map legend on and off. So let's turn that off. For now, we go paths and lines, we go pencil. And let's say we wanted to create a path to get from here. I'm just making this up as an example. The old path is to go here. And then I go right click to end the line. Path 1. Type. Historical outlet of a Whenua, now impacted by artificial drains, something like this. This is just a real simple. Sensitive. This one I'll leave that tick on. Current state, poor. And you can see here now it's a very faint red line. So what we're going to do is come in here and have another crack. First, actually, I'm just going to press save. And if we wanted to, we could also turn labels on. So let's have a go at this. Properties pop up, labels. Just move that over there. No labels, single labels. And you can see those fields that we added. Name, type, kōrero. I'm going to use name. Oh, did I do a typo there? Oh my. And let's go apply and see what happens. There we go. Path 1 there. It's not very easy to see, but it works. Symbology. Let's stick with the same color, but this time we're going to make it much thicker. There we go. Apply. And or we could just click one of these like this, and also some cool effects in here like emboss. Apply. There we go. We go red. You can go dot dot dot. Whatever you want it to be, whatever color, whatever style. And you can see our name there, our label there. So let's go and we'll create another one. We'll go path 2, which I don't think it was because this is going to go over hill. Right. Okay. Path 2. Type. Wait. Kōrero, historical outlet or urupā. And then, is it sensitive? I'm going to leave that one off this time. Current state for not there. Okay. Now we press save once more. And because it's in that same layer, it's also turned on the label and it's inherited the same symbology. So just to recap, we created the layer, put it in a database, it added to our map, we went edit it, use the pencil, we drew some features, and then we press save, and then we press pencil to stop editing. And now we have 2 permanent layers on our computer. No one else can access them. What's happening here is we're looking at the imagery and those layers, but the imagery is coming from the internet, read only. So we're not sending any data anywhere to anyone. Let's do one more, which is there are points, there's lines, and there's polygons or areas. So points, places, lines, paths, polygons, areas. And same. Let's go layer, create layer, new geopackage layer. So I'm going to call this one, I'm just going to make a new one again, hapū database, and we'll call this hapū database 3. And down here, I'm going to call this Harawai roto. And go, and here we want to have a name, types, text, fields list, type, status, kōrero, sensitive. So if we use that sensitive, use that same phrase the same way, and then we swap that to Boolean, which is true, false. We can add that. And then we just go, okay. Let's see, is it telling me? Doesn't want me to click it. Okay, so here's the trick. I've got to figure out why it doesn't want me to click it. Look, it's because we didn't pick the polygon type. It's pretty cool. It does that. We use the same projection as well. WGS84 lat long, digital decimal lat long. We go okay, and now we have a layer there. So here's something we didn't talk about before, is at what scale we draw these features. So you can see when I drew those, when we zoom in, we go, hey, that's a bit rough. That's it's a bit coarse. If we start drawing the feature here, when we zoom in, it's going to be coarse as well. So it's just going, it's getting that download, that read-only file, read-only base map. But you can see it's the best detail you can get from that one. Let's see if we pan around a bit. It's also quite tricky, though, to draw the lake at this scale, because you've got to draw a bit, make sure you click around, draw a bit, click around. So what I'd suggest we do is we start at this scale, and then we can increase the accuracy if we want to, or once we get used to using the tool. So now we've done our points, we've done our lines, let's turn those off. And now here's our areas. It's still drawing those labels, I don't know, maybe it's just refreshing. We've got awa roto, and you can see in there, it's a patch, and I'm going to go pencil, and now I'm going to go this one here, draw a polygon area, and very simply, I'm going to make this quite quick. I'm going to copy around like this, just tracing the area. So this would be the same for things you could do with this would be any kind of area that you want, whether it's awa or land blocks or rohi or anything you want to do. So now I've done my shape, I'm going to go right click. That's just telling me the internet's not working that great. Doesn't matter. Name. Whenua. Roto. Type is roto. Status is poor. Nitrification. Weeds. Other things. Kōrero, you put some there, and sensitive, in this case, no. And then get rid of that. Here is our polygon. So rather than just leave it rough like this, what we'll do is we'll have a look and we'll have a to-do here. We'll go save to begin with. Then we'll go onto the pencil, and then let's see vertex tool, current layer. Vertex tool. This is going to let me hopefully move some of these points. Let's see if we can come in here a bit. And if I click there, you can see it's moved that vertex, just that point and the two lines touching it. Now if I come right down further, we can move that one. And there'll be a way that I can actually add ones too. I can add one here. And let's say that, can you see those little areas just there? I'm going to bring that back around. I might have moved the whole thing just then. But no, I think it's just pulling them with it. So you can go in there and you can create quite complex shapes. But what I'd suggest is start small, start quick, capture the core data before you go and capture every minute detail. Because what you can do in a couple of hours, you can have kind of a basic map of fairly coarse data, and then you can start having kōrero with others, and they might have different thoughts, or they might know about stuff, because the main thing is to capture that data while you still can, particularly with kaumatu and kuia. This data is on the only computer this is on is this one, and because I'm sharing my screen, you can see it. That's it. It's nowhere else. There's no cloud, there's no login, there's no save, nothing. As long as I have this laptop in my possession, that's the only place where the data is going to be. Okay, there we go, save. Let's say we want to make, the last thing I want to show you is how to make a map. Let's go new print layout up here, project, new print layout. And map. Okay. And here we have a map. Just going to make that big. Zoom in a bit. And I'm going to go add item. So this is kind of a separate sub application. I'm going to go add item, add map. Can add my map there. And cross fingers, it's going to draw it. I'll give that a second to load. I can see it's probably getting a higher quality base map or something like this. Then I go add, let's say legend. I'm going to put my legend just here somewhere. There's my legend. It's got all the data sets. So I can go in here and there's a place I can find that will allow me to only show the symbols that I want. It's showing all of them at the moment. Okay, that's my layout. It's my items, properties for that. It's still rendering my map. It's taken a while. Show only items inside linked maps. That's this one. Okay, and then you can see it's dropped it right back. And it's finally drawn my picture. I was worried there for a minute. So there, I've made a real basic map. Let's just keep going, add a couple of things. We've added a legend. Let's add a scale bar. Maybe add that there. And we can change this around to suit. We can change the font. We can change the style. We want a north arrow, because if we've moved the map to make the map feature more visible, like we might have turned it a little to make it more visible, then that arrow will follow, and it just helps us align and understand what we're looking at. And we can put that somewhere else too. And then the last thing, of course, for every map, we need to have a title. So in this case, we can go in here, dynamic text, or we can go label. I think I'll just go label for this time. And in here, a map. What's one? Then there is my. See if we can make this bit bigger. Come down here, appearance and font, position and size. So there'll be a setting in here somewhere we can make the font bigger. And there's our map. So we can print that. We can, I'll just press save on that project too. We can print it. We can export it, export as an image. Let's say we want to put it into a Word document or PowerPoint, or just a PDF on its own. We can go export. Mapi, we'll just take it as is. Export as vectors, blah, blah, blah. Append georeference information. So maybe I want to take that off. Just depends on whether you want the user or the viewer to be able to do certain things. Need to take that out. Or just, you can fiddle around. And that'll go off and it'll make a PDF, and there we go, here's our map. Mapi. And good thing about PDFs is people can't change them. Well, not easily. There we go. So let's recap. What have we done? We have gone to, come here, into our GIS folder. So last month, we set up the folder, we download the data, we put it in there. We extracted the database, and that one is called Whenua data. And we extracted the project file, and that's called Whenua project August. That's what we did last month. We also downloaded the advanced data, we exported that. And then today we opened this file, which also includes some of those data sets from here, and there are those data. So there's, just for example, there's all the property boundaries, there's building outlines, there's all the addresses, there's some vegetation, there's PowerPoints, place names, road parcels or areas, property titles. So that doesn't have the people's names in here, just the name of the title. And then some other layers of interest that we got from data.lins.gvt.nz. Okay, so hopefully that's useful. There's many other things we'll do, and what we're going to do next month is we're going to create a project for perhaps an environmental study. But here's the offer is, if you would like me to use an area as an example, I'm more than happy to do that if you can help me out with some basic kōrero of what you would like it to see, and we can use that as an example for next month, where we'll do a series of projects of different types, and of course they will be available for download. So just keep that in mind. If you would like your area to be used as an example, we'll create some templates for those layers, some print layouts. We'll set up some different themes of the different layers and things. But in the meantime, feel free to go to that page, whenua.com, download the data, extract it, follow the instructions, put it on your hard drive. No one else can see it. So until next week.